Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks, and it is time for a reading vlog where I read two of my most anticipated books for the second half of the year. Now, before we get started, a few things to clear up. It is Monday the 5th of August, and I have a cold. If you've been here before, you also know I have some sort of stomach issue, which can't be quite figured out. I've got that too. So it's, it's not a great time for me. And the old brain's not really playing the part either, if you catch my drift. So, it's going to be fun, isn't it? It's going to be fun for me, and it's going to be fun for you. I really want to do this reading vlog. I really want to read these books. I mean, like I said, it's the 5th of August. I've DNF'd one book. I'm halfway through another, and I don't 100% know if I'm even going to finish that. So, we're not off to a great start. And to be honest, the UK here, the country, is not off to a great start of August. Absolutely I don't know. Well, unfortunately, 3 little girls that were at a Taylor Swift dance party were killed. And it has set off riots in this country. I won't call them protests. They are riots. They are riots by right-winged neo-Nazis that are causing hell. It's awful. It makes me so scared for the state of this country, and it absolutely breaks my heart. I know you're not here to listen to this, but it's just what's going on. It's awful. They have used the death, the tragic loss of these little girls to spread their hate and their bigotry and their violence. And they're using those poor little girls' lives to justify their racism. And it just breaks my heart for the little girls, for the people enduring the racism and the abuse and the violence. I mean, they've burnt down libraries here. Just yesterday, they set fire to a hotel here that was housing refugees and asylum seekers. And it's just having a massive effect on me. I don't know how you can live in this country and it not. It's awful scenes. I don't, and I think I spoke about this before, but we've just had the election, and sort of the whole premise of it was stop the votes. When the most powerful people in the country have this kind of rhetoric, it trickles down, and then it allows it because it kind of gives permission. And I just think this country is in a state I hate and I'm not proud of, and it's just awful, and it's just really affecting me. So, but we're going to try and read some books. I'll try and stop watching the news. We'll try and read some books, and hopefully by the time this goes out, things will be settled, and those 3 little girls get the honour they deserve, and not all this other fucking nonsense. I hate it. But let's talk about the books, and then we'll just try and carry on. So I am going to be reading 2 books in this, like I said. I've given myself about 2 weeks to do this. Normally I can read like a couple of books a week, but at the minute, no, not with this. Not with how I'm feeling. It's on Monday. I haven't eaten since Wednesday. I haven't eaten a thing since Wednesday. So it's just rough times. It's rough times everywhere. But, and I'm sorry about that I just had to get off my chest. I don't want everyone to think everything's sort of hunky-dory and I'm not paying attention, or I'm just living in a bubble. I want people to know that what they're doing and how they feel are not my views, and I'm utterly actually against it. And I just didn't want people to think, well, why is he not mentioning it? I want you to know. I just want you to know. But let's talk about the books. You don't probably care about my political opinions. Oh, it's not political. It's human decency. That's all. But we are going to be reading Small Rain by Garth Greenwell. Well, as you know, Huge fan of him. I'll marry Garth Greenwell just so he writes me a letter every day. Would he do that? I don't know. Well, I guess if he's married to me, he wouldn't need to, because he'll just talk to me. Anyway, and I also got given Our Evenings by Alan Hollinghurst. Now, I am going to go for this one first, because it comes out first. It comes out on September the 19th, and I got it first. I've had it quite a while, and I was sort of saving it just in case I got this one and I could do this. So, let's find out what it's about together. Should I tell you about them both now, or wait? No, I'll wait for this one. Let's find out what it's about together, and then let's start it together, and let's hope I make some progress at some point. That would be nice, wouldn't it? A poet's life is turned inside out by a sudden wrenching pain. The pain brings him to his knees, and eventually to the ICU. Confined to bed, plunged into the dysfunctional American healthcare system, he struggles to understand what is happening to his body, as someone who has lived for many years in his mind. This is a searching, sweeping novel set at the furthest edges of human experience, where the forces that give life value, art, memory, poetry, music, care, are thrown into sharp relief. Time expands and contracts, sudden intimacies bloom. Small Rain surges beyond the hospital to encompass a radiant vision of human life, our shared vulnerability, the limits and possibilities of sympathy, the ideal of art, and the fragile dream of America. I mean, the limits and the possibilities of sympathy is something we need right now. So let's start it together, and we'll see how I get on. I'm expecting both of these to be 5 stars. I probably just need to do it again, haven't I? But we'll try. They asked me to describe the pain, but the pain defied description. On a scale of 1 to 10, it demanded a different scale. It was like someone had plunged a hand into my gut, grabbed hold and yanked, trying to turn me inside out and failing and trying again. Like that, while somebody else kneed me in the groin. For 8 hours on a Saturday, I said, on Saturday, someone interrupted. I was surrounded by people at this point, some busy with IVs or electrodes, but most, it seemed, just looking at me, asking me to answer questions I had already answered, waiting to hear everything afresh. It's just, I think he's just, Garth Greenwell has such a flow to his writing that I just automatically like it, like I can't help it. So, I'm going to start this now, and, then I'll check in with you and made some progress, or if something happens, or, who knows? Who knows? So it's later in the afternoon, and I have only read 20 pages, but it's about a character who is feeling pain, and he doesn't want to go to the hospital, though his partner thinks that he should go to the hospital, but his partner sort of thinks is from Spain, and he sort of has that sort of, here in the UK we have the NHS, which we're incredibly lucky and grateful to have, but he doesn't want to go to the hospital because it's so expensive, but he's going, and he's just like, I just think Garth Greenwell has such a great way of capturing the mundane and making us all recognise it and see it for what it really is, but also not boring us, because it's like, well, we know that. I never get that. His writing just flows like a stream to me. It always does, and I am enjoying it so far. But like I said, I haven't read 20 pages. But I'm here because I got some book mail, and I have no idea what it is. But this one is from Waterstones, which means I haven't bought anything in a while. I haven't bought a book in a long time. Well, not a long time. Yeah, it's been a while. Let's open it. Let's open it, because I haven't got a clue. I'll let you see first. Oh! It's the new Elif Shafak book. There Are Rivers in the Sky. I do like Elif Shafak's writing. And I got a signed copy, apparently. Well done for pre-ordering it, Jack. I didn't think this come out yet. I didn't think this was out till Thursday. But yes, I don't really know what it's about. I don't... Look at those beautiful end papers. What a stunning front cover. Yeah, I don't really know what it's about. I don't need to with Elif Shafak. I love her writing. I trust her immensely. So, I can handle that. That orange sticker has got to come off, though. And then we have this paperback book. I really haven't ordered anything. I haven't requested anything. I'll let you look first. Oh, they did offer me this. I'm very excited for this. I am very, very excited for this. It had some other things in it. Oh, it's there. I trust Verve. They did Sunburn, which I read last year and loved. Oh, I'm very, very excited for this. Isaac by Curtis Garner. Quickly, set in London across a single life-altering summer, Isaac interrogates masculinity and queerness in the digital age and offers a fresh take on desire and intimacy, adolescence, obsession, and dangerous first love. Well, I'm going to be reading when I finish my 2 books. I can guarantee you that. I'm very, very excited for this one. But yeah, I'm going to go do some more reading now. Well, maybe. I might have a nap. And then we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the day goes.
Hi friends, it's Thursday. There was no way I was supposed to not vlog for this long, but I'm not well. Still going to work, but I'm not well. And I've only just made it to 100 pages in Small Rain by Garth Greenwell. Now, I will say it is just as good as I want it to be. We are following... I didn't think it was the same man from the other 2, but I think it is. He's back in America. He's met someone. They've been together 7 years. And he's suddenly taken ill. And so far, it's just capturing what it's like to be ill and not know what's wrong with you. And be in a hospital. We all know that feeling where everything's going around us. We don't really know what's going on. That feeling of sort of isolation. And it's in COVID time, so it's double isolation for him because he is only had 1 visitor a day. Things like that. It's not very plot heavy. If you look at like a plot heavy book, you're not going to find it here. But it is glorious. I just love his writings. I love the flow of it. I love the cadence. I just love everything. And it's just this man sort of thinking over things like art and life. And it takes a look at the American healthcare system and how lucky we are here in the UK to have the NHS. Thank goodness. Yeah, I'm just loving it. What I've read so far, I haven't read much. I know, I'm really, really sorry. But yeah, am I going to do these books in 2 weeks? I don't think so. But that's my problem, not yours. Yeah, I've just not been well and sort of consumed by everything going on in this country. There were more riots last night. I know you don't want to keep hearing about it, but it's all on my mind. It's all on my mind. But I'm going to go for 100 pages tonight. And we'll see how it goes. And But yeah, I am really enjoying it. It sort of feels like classic Garth Greenwell. And it feels... Both his previous books have been set in another country, and it feels so different for him to be set in America. And he's just talking about like what it feels like to feel like a foreigner in your own home. And yeah, so I am really enjoying it, and I can't wait to. Well, I was going to say see more, but I have to read more. I'll speak to you soon.
Good morning. I've just listened to Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. What a tune! What a tune! But. Well, you saw me finish this, didn't you? And Small Rain by Garth Greenwell. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it. Is it a strange book? Yes. It's basically a man going into hospital and getting out of hospital. He's there for 11 days or so. But Garth Greenwell really captures that sort of unexpected illness and that uncertainty and that fear that we all have of getting ill and not knowing what's wrong, whether it's for us or our loved ones or friends, anything. It's really well captured. And it does often fall into stream of consciousness where he, like I've said, he sort of goes on about art or poetry or times in his life. But I just loved it. There's just something about it. I can't say like it's going to be for everyone. I don't think I could say that. And I don't think it's, if you like a plot, you're not going to get it here. But if you just like sort of beautiful writing to like wash over you, then you'll have it. This is where it's at. You know, if it is the same character, which I'm pretty sure it is, but I could be wrong. If it is the same character, I've been with this character now for 3 books, and he seems settled, and he's very much in love. The love story in it was just sort of really real and grounded, and I felt it. It's not, you're not like sort of discovering how they fell in love. They're 7 years in. They're used to each other. It's that kind of love, and I just, oh no, someone's driven past. Do you think they've seen? So yeah, I just someone drove past. I had to stop. It was a bit embarrassing, but a huge win for me, that book. Garth Grimmer, he's one of my faves. He's one of my faves. It feels so different to his other books as well. It feels really different. And I'll just patiently wait for his next book now. I'm such a huge fan, so I loved it. We are going to start our evenings, but I'll wait to start with you. I haven't got it with me here. I'm not going to read it in the car. I've got to get into work. I could be the manager now. You never know. So we'll start that together, and we'll see how that goes. But I needed that book. I needed that book to sort of reinvent my love for reading, because I'd lost it in August. I had lost it. So I also finished my non-fiction for the month, and boo. But we'll talk about that in the wrap up, not in this, but boo. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to work. Excited to start our evenings. I'm excited to enjoy reading again, so I'm a happy boy.
Good morning, friends. It is Sunday morning, and now that I have finished Small Rain by Garth Greenwell, we are going to go on to Our Evenings by Alan Hollinghurst. I actually took this in the bath last night to start reading it, and I didn't. I just sat on my phone, as that happens. However, I don't think I'm going to get much read today, because I'm going to sleep at my friend's house tonight. We're going to, have a few drinks in the garden, and, and I don't drink, so, but we'll see. Yeah, so this comes out 3rd of October, Alan Hollinghurst, The Line of Beauty, very famous novelist. I have no idea what it is about. It doesn't even say, so I can't even tell you. That will be the cover, which is so beautiful. But shall we start it together? Shall we? Let's do it. Let's do it. We always do, don't we? No rehearsal this morning, so we stayed in bed. I made tea and we sat propped up, searching our phones for stories about Mark. Why we needed to read them, I'm not sure. Perhaps knowing a famous person makes you part of the story, and you want whoever is telling it to see the point and get it right. The segment last night at the end of the news had been earnest but perfunctory, 45 seconds from a young correspondent with no first-hand knowledge of the subject. It was confounding to learn about a friend's death in this way. I muted the set. Richard put his arm around me, and we sat saying nothing as the cricket and then the weather came on. Someone's dead. Someone called Mark, which is my dad's name. So, very, very excited to read this. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to get much read today, but I will check in with you when I can. Probably tomorrow, probably Monday, but I feel like I'll be very tired. I feel like I'll be very, very tired because we're not going to sleep, are we? We're just going to chat. We're like two young schoolgirls. Very, very excited to have this. Very lucky. It comes out October the 3rd, so I'm well ahead of the game too. Good afternoon. It is Monday afternoon. I nearly said morning. That would be weird, wouldn't it? I'm back home. I didn't get much read last night, as you saw. I made a new friend from Pikachu. Love him. But yeah, I didn't get much read. I read a little bit when I woke up in the night, and then I fell back asleep. And I fell asleep, and I held the book up like this in my sleep. So, and I read a little bit in the garden this morning while my friend Alex was getting ready for work. And so far we're following, I do believe his name's David, or Dave. Is it? Yeah, Dave, who, is an older gentleman, an actor, and somebody called Mark has died. And then he goes and visits his wife. And then we go back in time, and so far the impression I've got, because I haven't got all the details yet, is that Mark is almost sponsoring Dave to go to this sort of public school boarding there because he's very clever, and he is sort of friends with Giles, Mark's son, but we know that Giles doesn't grow up to be a very nice person. And that's sort of as far as I got so far. It's a very different sort of writing style to Small Rain by Garth Greenwell, but I am really enjoying it. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to get a bit more into it, get a bit, flesh it out a bit. That was a horrible phrase. I don't know why I used that. But yeah, so what am I up to? Chapter 4, like 33, was it? I'm going to try and aim for 100 pages today. Because I want this to go up on a Monday. Yeah, so Monday will crack on. So, yeah, that's going to be the plan. And we'll see how it goes. And I'll check in with you tomorrow when I've got a bit more into the story and I know a bit more. I think that will be quite helpful for the vlog. So you might be interested in it. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday morning. Now, I said I was going to read 100 pages, didn't I? Absolutely did not do that. I didn't do that. I read, well, I'm on page 65, but that I read some this morning. I probably read about 5 pages last night and fell asleep. Here's the thing. Sometimes I get into bed, I have my little reading light on, I have my fan on because it's boiling here in the UK, and I say to myself, sometimes I say to myself, right, you cannot fall asleep before you read 50 pages, or you cannot fall asleep before you get to whatever number page. And sometimes I say to myself, and this is a quote, friends, I say to myself, baby, you can fall asleep whenever you like. And last night, it was a whenever you like kind of night. I reckon I read like 2 pages and I fell asleep. But I did get to page 6, what was chapter 8? 65, 63 this morning. And things are a bit clearer now as well. When I'm reading in the comfort of my own surroundings. So we are following Dave, who is, he's at this like boarding school. He's there with Giles, and Giles' family is sponsoring him to go. They are paying his school fees. It's like almost like a bit like a charity they've set up. They're like sponsoring him or something like that. And I do believe he's a year younger than Giles, but he's in the same sort of school class as Giles because he's clever. He's sort of, a bit above his age for his cleverness. And Giles doesn't like that. At school, Giles hurts him, bullies him, roughs him up. And Giles very much doesn't like him staying for the weekend. And while he was there, Giles snuck into Dave's bed and gave him some, unwarranted advances. Shall we put it that way? Not nice. But he did sort of fight him off. So I don't know if it happens all the time. It was just that first time. I'm still unclear about that. And Dave lives with his mum. They kind of want to think he doesn't know his dad. His dad was from Burma. So the poor boy has to deal with sort of slight racism, shall we say. Not anything. They're just sort of fascinated by it all and asking sort of questions you don't really need to ask. But I actually am quite into it. It sort of drops you in the story. I like his writing style. So yeah, I'm into it. I'm interested to see where it goes. Obviously, we know from the beginning that he stays connected to these people throughout his life. But I'll be interested to see in what sort of form. So yeah, I'm into it. That's nice to know. But I do need to read because I want this to go up. It's Tuesday. I want this video to go up Monday. And I need the book finished, don't I? And I don't know if there's be any interest to anyone watching it, but I'll try. So yeah, tonight, I'm going to read a lot. I'm just going to read tonight. I'm just going to read. That's what I'm going to do, okay? So I just hit the books. I just hit the book, and with the books, I will speak to you at some point when I read some. And if I can show you anything at work, I will, but I don't want to go to work because, as you know, they've offered me the manager's position and I haven't made up my mind. It fills me with dread, to be honest. So, maybe I should stay in bed or whatever read. No, I can't do that. They literally made me the manager. I can't do that.
Hi friends, it is Wednesday evening, early evening, like 6:30. And I am on page, are you ready? Are you ready for this? I am on page 236. I did well. I said I was going to get some reading done, and I did. But in this, we are basically following David Wynn. His name's David Wynn. Sometimes he calls himself Dave. And it's just his life. It's at different parts of his life. I thought it was going to be very much him involved at school, but it's not particularly. It's very much when it skips quite a lot. It's he sort of starts at 14, then he's 17. But we see him spend a lot of time with his mum. I really like the relationship with his mum. His mum is a dressmaker, and she has sort of been making dresses for this woman who is quite rich, and she was married to a homosexual, which she was not happy about. But now her and his mum are in a relationship. It's queer all round. But we're just following David. He is now he's graduated the school. He's now at Oxford University, about to take exams. He just loves acting. He wants to be an actor. He seems to be good at it, and we're sort of witnessing him fall in love, I guess, for the first time, or sort of wanting to be with someone named Nick for the first time. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but it's really enjoyable. I'm enjoying following along in his life, basically. That is what it is. He's nice. He's, like I said, he's half Burmese, so he's still sort of dealing with microaggressions for his colour and things like that, but a lot of the time he just shrugs them off and sort of chooses the easy route instead of sticking him up for himself. But yeah, it's sort of set in the 60s, like homosexuality just become legal. It's just like a nice book. It's nice to be invested in a character. It's nice to be sort of, where it does jump a lot, and you meet a lot of different people in his life, and you have to be like, oh, who's this? Are they new? Are they recurring? It's a bit like that, but because I'm in it, I'm just in it. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, that's great. I'm just going out for dinner because, as I told you, I got offered the manager position and I can't decide what to do. I'm not sure if they're sort of taking the piss out of me by doubling my work. So I'm sort of going out with a few people from work just to have a chat about it, just to see what I should do, because I really can't decide, and I have to let them know tomorrow, 2:30. Think of me, because it's giving me anxiety. I can't sleep at night. But who knows? But I'm gonna go out for dinner, and I'm gonna come home and read more of this. Shall we try and get to page 300? We'll try and get to page 300 today, and I'll just hope and pray, and then I'll let you know what decision I make, whether I'm going to be the manager or if I just have to leave. Because as you know, basically, do you want to know? I'm going to tell you. I work in the kitchen, as you all know. But if I become the manager, I'll have to work out front, sort of serving the coffees and the teas, and I don't like that. It's my worst nightmare. So if I take this manager position, it's good for the company, and it's good for everyone there, but it's going to make me miserable. Absolutely miserable. So I have to decide if I choose myself and my happiness or other people. I'm sad. It makes me sad. But hey, at least I've read 2 good books in a row. That would cheer anyone up. If you're sad, read a good book. That might help you. But I'll speak to you tomorrow. I'm going out to dinner. I'm going to go to an arcade. I'm going to try and win a cute keyring. So maybe I'll show you a bit, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.
I did it. I reached page 300 of this book, and it's got like 480, so who knows? I'll get it finished. Maybe, yeah. By the time, yeah, I'm on track. I'm on track. What I'm going to say about this book is, I am very much into it, but like, not much is happening. Almost, it's not sort of like grand, or like the writing's not like immensely beautiful or anything like that, but I am into it. You're on the journey of this boy's life, and it is quite it's just interesting to read the people he meets along the way. Like, he's sort of been with his boyfriend for 2.5 years now, but there's sort of someone else on the scene, and he's sort of like, he's essentially like a travelling actor, a touring actor. So yeah, it's a strange one, because I am into it. I'm really enjoying reading it, but it is just a look at this person's life. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I am enjoying it. Like, I'm reading it quite quickly. I can't, any spare second I'm reading it because I want to. So it's a bit like that. I will say, like, sort of a running theme throughout it is the microaggressions and the subtle and not so subtle racism he has to deal with, and sort of as a reader, you want to be like, stand up for yourself. I don't want to have to hear that for you. That, it's not nice. And he's very much sort of choosing the easiest, the safest option for himself. And it's just hard to read, but it is a running theme throughout, and that is really sort of interesting. But yeah, I'm quite invested in his life and sort of what turn it's going to take, and when is he going to meet up with this Mark and Cara at the beginning, the man who died, and I am into it. I am. So, yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I feel like I'm invested, and he feels almost like real, and like I could bump into him on the street, or I could, be his friend. And I think that's sort of a real skill of an author. And it's like looking at sort of plays and life and love. So yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. But now I've got to go to work. Because as you know, I went out last night, sort of for a work meeting almost, to decide if I want to do this job, and I can't decide. I can't decide. So I have a few questions. I do feel like I'm being taken the piss out of a bit, so I've got to address that. Isn't it weird, because I have these concerns, and I genuinely feel like if I say yes to this, it's going to make me miserable. Like, I generally feel like I will just be miserable and just unhappy. But I'm very aware it's the easiest option for everyone else if I just say yes. And also, I have some questions and concerns, and I'm not sure the pay's quite right for what they're asking me to do. But I feel like I'm making a fuss. I feel like it's difficult to stand up for yourself and ask for what you deserve, and it's just hard, and it makes me uncomfortable, and I just am absolutely dreading going in. You're not here for this, I know, but it's what's going on this week. This is sort of like a weekly, 2 weeks in my life while I'm reading these books, and that's what's going on. And I wish it wasn't, but it is. So I'm sorry, this vlog's probably been really boring. It's just me being ill and then panicking about life, but welcome to my life. I'm going to go to work now. Joy. Yeah. I'll let you know what happens. I'll let you know. And then I'll read much more of this book tonight. We'll get to page 400 tonight. We'll get to page 400. I have faith in myself now. Speak to you soon. Morning, friends. It's Friday morning, and now I'm over page 400 on this, so which means I've got about 80 pages left. Didn't get much ready yesterday, particularly because I ended up going out for dinner. A little update. Do you want a little update on this whole manager situation, which is causing me great anxiety and making me not sleep? I sort of said yes, but I have asked for a bit more money, which I hate, but everyone was sort of telling me you need to. So I've done it. We'll see. He's coming back to me today with whether it's yes or no, and then I have to say yes or no officially. So unfun. But we are now, like I said, page 404. Dave is now in his 60s. This book has like a few time jumps. He's almost gone back to his high school to like give a talk on where he is, and not high school, like boarding school, to give a talk where he is, and he's been in a relationship and that's broken up because they were both actors, and he's still dealing with like the racism, the microaggressions, and slight homophobia here and there. But he is sort of, where he's gone back to school, he's interacting with this Giles again, he's seeing Mark and Cara again. It's a strange book. I'm not quite sure if it was as good as I hoped it was going to be, but I am still enjoying it. It's sort of like a consuming story in the sense you get quite consumed into his life, and his mum's older now. His mum's like girlfriend just died, and that was quite sad. Yeah, so I'll finish this today. I promise I will, and then we'll catch up and wrap it up at the weekend, because I've got the weekend off. Yay! So I will see you at the weekend.
I finished it. And I don't want to tell you how it wrapped up, as I don't want to ruin it for you if you want to read it. But I liked the ending. Like, if you've been watching this and listened to what I was saying, it made sense because things were sort of happening throughout and foreshadowing. I didn't expect it to end like that, and it was sad. Don't get me wrong, it was sad, but you could see it coming. It's such a journey of a man's life that I don't think it works all the time, or it just jumps a bit too much. But overall, I enjoyed it. It wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be, but I did enjoy it. I finished it. It's Sunday morning and I finished it. So this really did sort of take 2 weeks just to read these 2 books. So, you know, it's been rough, but let's wrap this up. Let me quickly grab Small Rain and we'll wrap it up. So they're done. My 2 most anticipated books for the second half of the year. And I've done it. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. When did you ever hear me say that? I'm very happy. Enjoyed them both. Probably preferred Small Rain, but probably a given because I just love his writing. And yeah, you know, what I will say is I was really struggling to read this month. And these 2 books, extremely readable, extremely different. One sort of an intense period over 10 days and one span sort of 60 years. So totally opposites, but made the experience really fun. Ah, yeah, I needed this vlog. I needed it. And I've taken the job. Shh, don't tell anyone. No one's allowed to know, but you're looking at a manager. I can't really, the anxiety. Let's not talk about it. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know your anticipated books for the year. Let me just have a chat, you know. I like that. And I'm going to speak to you all really, really